Welcome back to the Force Feed. In today's gaming news, State of Decay is making its way to PC, weekend deals on The Walking Dead, Fez, and more, and Sony is the reason The Elder Scrolls Online is coming to consoles. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Force here with your day's gaming news. First up today, the open world zombie survival game State of Decay was originally an Xbox exclusive, but it's now making its way onto the PC. Sometime within the next couple of weeks, a controller-only version of State of Decay will be available through Steam Early Access. This will be followed up by the addition of a sandbox mode, along with the full mouse and keyboard version of the game. I know what you're saying, we have plenty of open-world zombie survival games, but this one's actually supposed to be pretty good. So, thumbs up, I'm excited. Even though the first version that's coming to Steam's Early Access will be controller only, since I now have a controller for my PC, that'll be okay. The keyboard and mouse version of the game, like I mentioned, will be coming later in the year. It's supposed to be out before the end of the year. And then we're also getting that sandbox mode. This is good news for me. I remember seeing State of Decay and thinking it looked like a fun game, but being unable to play it because I didn't have an Xbox. So now that we're going to get a PC version, you can expect some coverage from me. Next up in news, we've got some great weekend deals from both Steam and Greenman Gaming. This weekend's Steam deals include 75% off The Walking Dead, 50% off Fez, and 66% off Sanctum 2. Greenman Gaming is offering a 75% discount on the Best of Square pack, which includes Deus Ex Human Revolution, Hitman Absolution, and Tomb Raider. Beyond those deals, there's also a weekly Humble Bundle sale on a bunch of Arkin games, which I'll give you guys a link to in the description below. As I always mention with any of these sales, if you have ever had any interest in any of these titles, now's a great time to pick them up. Last up in news today, we'll be talking about The Elder Scrolls Online, which was originally supposed to be a PC exclusive MMO until Sony stepped in and brought it to the consoles. In an interview with Game Informer, Sony Computer Entertainment of America VP Adam Boyes said, "That game was never planned to come to consoles, and we just kept sitting with them and being like, why not? What if we built a plan where we could do that?" Well, would you look at that? It was supposed to be PC exclusive. I guess a lot of us sort of assumed that because we knew it was coming to the PC before we ever heard word of the console version, but I think some people originally assumed that they started development with the consoles in mind. Apparently that wasn't the case. Apparently they began development and were working on the game solely as a PC exclusive, and then Sony stepped in and said, why don't we bring this to the consoles? Now, we could of course use this to open up the can of worms that is, well, an MMO consolized means it's going to be dumbed down, watered down, less, just a lot less in terms of elements, a smaller UI because there's only so much you can do on the consoles, and less detail and depth to some of the game just because of the general restrictions that consoles bring. And that's sort of probably right. Chances are, if this had stayed a PC exclusive MMO, maybe we would have had access to more skills and abilities for our characters beyond the 5 that we're going to get with the launch of this game. It's tough to say. In fact, the only people who could really answer that question are the people at ZeniMax who have been developing this game. I really have no answer for you, but it's safe to say that in some way it's been consolized because it's coming to the consoles. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of the show. As always, let me know what you think about any of the topics discussed here in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. For argument's sake, I'd just like to make a comparison. This is a console controller. You'll notice a fairly limited number of buttons and things with which to activate abilities. Now, this is a keyboard for a PC. Notice a much wider range of button and ability activating things. And then of course we also have the lovely mouse. I think this is fairly scientific and empirical evidence that games for the PC are better than those for consoles. Can't argue with that. It's science.